Welcome back to the E Gray Report with yours truly, E Gray. And this is a season finale wrap up review of Ready to Love Season 4 that just premiered last night. And it is some excitement that went on in this episode. Basically, and let's just go ahead and just get to the point. The whole Cure situation is pretty much what I think a lot of people are going to be talking about. All right, so I'm more than a day late and a dollar short in doing a Ready to Love review. Matter of fact, I'm like 2 seasons late on it. So, if any of y'all are familiar with this channel, have viewed a Ready to Love review episode with me, or if you new, here's the deal. I come on, I review these shows, I only give my perspective, which is a male perspective. Alright? A man has been married before, that's been in a relationship, so I can only give my perspective. So, there's nothing personal against anybody on this show. Let me go ahead and put that out there. And especially this time because the show has been filmed in my city, which is Houston, Texas. I don't know any of these people, all right? Houston's a big place, a real big place. Now, I'm pretty sure we can do some 6 degrees of separation, and I may know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, all right? But I don't know any of these people personally. So I have nothing against them. Anything that I'm saying is just my personal opinion. It is nothing, it's no personal attacks, so I don't know anybody, all right? So, let's get that cleared up. But, there were some things that bothered me. And so, what I did yesterday, actually the day before yesterday, I sat down and I binge watched this whole season, alright? I initially watched the first episode, which was the Meet the Singles, a few months ago in April when it actually premiered. I actually did a review on it. I never did post it. Why? Because I was busy. I was tired. I was dealing with work. So I never got around to posting that video. So, what I'm going to do today is this. I'm going to break down and give my honest opinion of the season finale, which aired last night. And then I'm going to kind of backtrack over the course of the season and kind of give my little opinions and my little tidbits about the castmates of this season's Ready to Love episode. All right, so let's get straight to the point. First off, I want to give 2 shout-outs to 2 co-castmates on the show this season. 2 people that I honestly was cheering for. I was rooting for these 2 brothers to be at the end, and they made it. That's your boy Joel, and that's what's his name, Chris, aka KG Smooth. Right. So the reason why I was initially supporting Joel is because of his backstory. All right, this guy is I was about to say divorcee. He's not. He's a widower. I couldn't imagine being married to a person that you are definitely in love with. You have children with them, and they pass on, and you back out here in this world looking to date again, trying to be a father. I know this because I'm a father of 2 sons, and being a parent is important to me. I couldn't imagine trying to raise 2 children without their mother, and with the fact that their mother passed. So I was totally rooting for him. He made it to the end. Salute. Also, OG KG Smooth. I was rooting for him for a totally different reason. Because last season, he got embarrassed, pretty much made to look like a damn fool on this TV show by old chick who he was talking to or whoever he had his eyes on in season 3. It left, I think, a bad taste in everybody's mouth, obviously, because they brought him back on the show, and it seemed like it was an outpour of support for him, and the fact that it seemed like he kind of got a raw deal. Like I said, he got made to look bad. He looked almost like an idiot. Like he was just a bumbling fool that could not get it right how to treat a woman. And that wasn't correct. I mean, that's somebody else's issue that couldn't understand that, hey, at this point in the game, you're both 40-something years old. If you're going to get in a relationship and you're talking about going, moving along in the future, finances, you have to really take a real honest look at it and say, look here, we're not in our 20s anymore. This whole idea of me taking care of you, and this is 2021. We got to get past that, all right? A lot of y'all women don't like traditional roles in life or in society right now at this point, so we ain't going to just adhere to these old school, archaic messages that happened back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So anyway, I was rooting for him, and God darn it, both of them got there. So salutes to both of y'all, all right? I'm happy for y'all. So let's get into this whole breakdown of the relationships and the final couples that made it to the end. All right, first you had Joelle and what's her name? Shoot, I can't think of her name. Vernicia. All right, here's the deal. I think they can actually be a real solid couple. All right, I don't know if they're ever gonna get married. I don't know if it's gonna be 5-6 years down the line they're still dating. But they both seem like solid people. Like I said for the Joelle brother, that dude seemed real solid. Like I said, I could not even imagine restarting over my life like that. But he did it. It seems like he is moving on. It seems like him and his family and his children are moving to a different place in their life, and they may be ready for someone. As far as Vernicia, like I said, she seemed like a solid, rock steady chick. You know what I'm saying? She didn't come off as being on the show, on camera, kind of looking, to kind of pop in the city. I mean, we've seen that in the past. We definitely have, especially I think in Atlanta. In the first 2 seasons, we saw some people. It's like, okay, you can tell you were there for the camera. You really wasn't there to find somebody. I think genuinely she was. So I'm happy for them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think she comes off as very natural. I think what you saw is what you get. I think like any woman, it may be a transition. I mean, like I said, she's the mother of 3. All right, she's used to doing it herself. Is she and will she be willing to let her guard down and maybe not control so much? I know she's used to being in control. As being a single parent, I get it. So I'm rocking for them. Let's get on to old Chris and Amber. So initially, Amber, when I first saw her doing the castmate reveal, I was wondering, like, okay, I don't know. She seemed like she was a little hard, a little rough around the edges, but looks can be deceiving. Your first initial reaction to somebody can, it may not be the reaction that you have later on. And she was one of those people that throughout the season, it seemed like she softened. It seemed like she was really open to finding someone and meeting somebody. And I think it could be a good relationship between her and the KG Smooth guy, old Chris. I mean, of course he was back, and he looked like he was focused. He had a different look in his eye. He had that eye of a tiger, like, look, I ain't getting played by nobody. I don't care who you are, what you say. I'm not going to be nobody fool this time. And I can appreciate that. I give him a lot of credit for coming back doing this again. And once again, he seemed like he came on as a man on a mission. Like he knew, all right, I'm not going to get into this fluff. I'm going to be direct, but I'm going to be very meticulous with my words and who and how I try to pursue people. And I think he was able to understand and say, hey, all right, this person ain't for me. I ain't even going to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? These people are for me. I'm going to pursue them. And you can just tell he had a game plan because he had been on the show before. He knows how it works. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that boy's professionalism on the show. All right? He came off very smooth. So I think those two can actually rock. I think that could be a real relationship. Whether it ends in marriage, I don't know. At this point, it's 4 seasons in. I don't think it's anybody who's ever been married off the show. I guess the only relationship that is still going on, maybe in the public's eye, is from the 2nd season in Atlanta. What's her name? The Reva and what's the guy's name? He had the grandchildren. I cannot think of his name. He called himself G Daddy. All right, I can remember that. I think they're still rocking together. But, I could see this whole Amber and Chris thing being real. I can see that being something legit. What's his name? Jason and Liz. I believe it's Jason and Liz. Either those two gonna end up being married or the police gonna get called out. That's just my opinion. It's just the way I see it. That's an interesting situation with me. I think they appear to get along and be a natural match, but I don't know. I mean, she is a 40-year-old woman who, as she said, has not been in a real relationship in 17 years. So if you do the math, that's 23. That's a long time without really having any real true feelings about someone. So are you really, I'm not gonna say in love, that's a strong word. Do you really have true feelings for Jason? Or is it one of those things you're just infatuated with the fact that you got a man? Even as she said at the end of the show, But if she hit it with, mama got a man, are you infatuated with that? So that's going to be something that's interesting to find out, here on these reunion shows. And the reunion shows, you'll find out everything. Things will come out. People start bringing out text messages, and folks will start getting pissed off and trying to embarrass each other because how you come off on camera. Because at the end of the day, this is a TV show. And it's a lot of stuff that gets cut and edited out. We should know this if you've ever watched this show. There's a lot to it. There's a lot more that you don't see, a lot more that you don't hear. So I'm interested to see which people are going to have, they day in the sun where they're going to come out between these two reunion shows and start busting each other balls. That's obvious. That's coming. That's happening. So I'm curious about their relationship. How long did it last? Not that it's really my business, but, was she genuinely, found like she had an interest in Jason, or is it one of those situations where where you just infatuated with finding a man, finding somebody that likes you? And I just wondered about that. I don't know. So let's go ahead and get to obvious. The biggest the biggest elephant in the room, which is old Miss Kyra. Kyra, I think it's Kyra, one of them. Maybe it's Kyra. In her decision, in which she decided that she was going to choose herself. Duh. Hell, who watched this over the past 12 weeks, or if you like me, over the past day and a half, and didn't realize that you was going to choose yourself anyway? I mean, nothing negative about her. She seems like she's an intelligent woman. She's like she works hard. I know she's an attorney. But the bottom line is you can tell that, hell, this was much about being ready to love with yourself as it was to being ready to love with anyone else. When I first saw her walk on to the little scene or to the set, and the first initial mixer episode, you can kind of tell that at this point, that was a person that was walking in ready to have their ego stroke. It's just something about it. If you watch this show enough, or if you go out and you meet people enough, some of those things just pop out. They just reign true. There are some folks that you just, they're out just trying to stroke their ego. It's just what they're doing. That's how it was with her. The first interaction with her and the AJ guy, or when it was first revealed that her and AJ had dated, before, went out on a date, and, the whole situation about the debit card, not working, which, let me take a step back. Now, I am notorious for being HOH, as a good partner of mine would call it. And HOH, if you don't know what HOH is, just ask me in the comments and I'll type it what HOH is. I know I've been criticized for being HOH. But at this point, I am going to have to support her. Now, look, I don't know if it was just a mistake where his card did not come through, but if there's a chance that your card ain't going to go through, don't take nobody out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't take nobody out. If there's a chance that you don't have all the money, or you ain't working with everything that you need to work with, don't go out, period. Especially don't take no woman out, especially in Houston, Texas. All right? That's one thing I can tell you. You go out to a nice restaurant here in Houston, especially a woman that's from the South, that's from Houston. They like to eat, they like to drink. And trust me, when they start ordering food, they ain't cutting you no breaks. And you should learn that as a young sahab. You know what I'm saying? That is just not going to happen. So if you don't have the money, or if it's one of those deals where it's like, all right, just don't go out. All right. Now, I can take the guy at face value that has said, hey, he got there, it was a mistake. His card just declined. That's what he's telling us. I respect the brother. Boom. Salute to you. My thing is this. Just tell her. Just tell her at the table. I know it's embarrassing, but just look. For whatever reason, my card has declined. This is totally embarrassing. If you could just pick this up, I will get your money back to you. We ain't never got to see each other again. Because I don't know how you come back from that. I really don't. That's just tough. And so that's my thing. If you're going out with somebody, especially in a city like Houston, and you plan on paying for the date, and make sure you got money on your debit card, credit card, or whatever you got, and make sure you got some cash with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, hold on, let me check and see what's going on. Maybe, it's one of those situations where you didn't have as much as you thought you had in the bank on your credit card. Pay half of it in cash, put the rest on the card. Don't embarrass yourself. All right. So now that we said that, let's go back to her. I knew from that point, going forward with AJ, everything that he was going to have to do with her was going to have to be making up from that standpoint, from that time stamp in time when they went on that date. His card declined, and they didn't go forward. The rest of that was about ego. And you could see it in the follow-up dates that he went out with her. Everything was him trying to show her that, hey, I'm not that same guy. That was a few years ago, or however, whatever the time duration was, that he has changed. She was giving him every opportunity to prove that. Why? Because once again, I think it was for her ego. You're going to have to pay me back for what happened that night, because that was embarrassing. Or as she puts it, once again, it was a hit on her ego. She doesn't pay for dinners. She's a woman. Okay, I get that. There are women like that. There's no problem. All right? But here's the deal. At that point in time, I knew that this wasn't going nowhere. You're going to have to lay it all out on the line. You're going to have to basically come in, hands and knees, nose to the ground, and make it up to her. She wasn't going to choose you, bro. And I hate that you got fooled into whatever conversations y'all had off camera or whatnot, that she was actually going to have any real interest in you. It was pretty simple. It's pretty simple and pretty clear to me that she wasn't going to pick him. Now, with the whole situation with her and Jason, that's why I go back to the ego hit. It pissed her off so goddamn much that I ain't gonna say that boy, that man chose Liz over her. You could see it just not computing in her head. It was like, hold on. What the fuck you mean you not choosing me? That didn't register with her. I mean, she's 34. She's young, mid-30s. She's an attorney. I mean, once again, so she's invested time in herself to make her a success. It make her to, kind of create this aura about her that, hey, everything she does is top notch. It's about me. And that she doesn't come in second place or second fiddle for anyone. When Jason told her, or when she found out, or when she kept on seeing that somehow she was in competition with another woman, that was a hit on her ego. When she found out that Jason finally was like, hey, I'm done with this. I've asked you, I've pushed you to be upfront and transparent with me, which she could never do. You find that out a lot of times when you meet women, or you talk to women, or you're trying to pursue women, and maybe that's a Houston thing. And a good friend of mine, matter of fact, we were talking about that this week. Probably about Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. Because Tuesday, me and him went out to a bar called 50-15 in Houston, and we was watching one of the playoff games. I think it was Wednesday. And we were talking, we were just chit-chatting, chopping it up. And he had me laughing. He was like, the one thing about Houston, he was like, man, men and women here are just difficult. We don't ever want to compromise about nothing. Everything's about us. And he, what he was saying was, it's like, I think it's because it's so many damn options out here for us. Which was funny, because it had me thinking. I was like, you know what? You might be right on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's one of them. He's one of the people that have said that about me. I'm considered HOH. My deal is this. I don't think I'm hard on women. I have a standard. And my thing is this. I'm going to hold you to the same standard that you want to hold me to. Right? And so sometimes what you see is you get into it where you're running into a fight with people's ego. And this is both men and women. And so I think Kyra? I don't know why I'm mispronouncing this woman's name. Kyra. I think she is a person that has a big ego. She's created it. I don't know where this has come from. With women that you meet, I noticed that, like I said, maybe it's a Houston thing, like he said. It's the fact that you meet any woman that you meet in Houston, any black woman, because that's the only women I deal with. Not saying I'm not attracted to any other type of woman. I just black women are who I deal with. One of the things you're gonna find out is this: if she is relatively successful, relatively attractive, she's gonna have an ego the size of this damn room that I'm shooting this video in. All right, and it's gonna precede her when she walks into any space. It is one of those deals where it's like, all right, sometimes you gotta dial that back. That has nothing to do with a man not being alpha. He's being a beta male, and he can't deal with a strong woman. That's not a woman's strength. All right, that's not what we as men define a woman's strength as. It's like, nah, you got an ego, and to be honest with you, that color really don't look good on you. It's hurting you more than it's helping you. Stop thinking that it's something that's making you pop. All right. And maybe, like I said, maybe it's a Houston thing. Maybe it's a city where you have a lot of successful individuals. There's a lot of options out there for people, for us. Like I said, I think I'm relatively attractive. I think I'm relatively successful. I have a career, make pretty good money. And it's just one of those deals where it's like, I think it's because there's so many options, and you're gonna be able to find somebody, in her case, that's gonna stroke her ego. Where it's like when she doesn't find that, or when someone does something that takes a hit on her ego, it's a problem. And you can tell that with Jason. I mean, even if you go back to last episode where essentially, her and Jason meets up after she and the rest of the last few women make it there, and essentially, it's one of those deals where she deposes him. And he initially captures it when he says it. Why does this feel like an interrogation? Well, one, she's a lawyer, buddy. So once again, I'm not gonna say it's interrogation, but it was a damn near deposition. I mean, she had clear-cut, concise questions and answers, and she wanted them to be answered in a certain way, and that's what she was posing to you. And so I enjoyed the fact that he kept on asking her, what is it that you're trying to say? What do you want from this? Because he couldn't get it. It's like, I made my choice. I told you why I made my choice. I told you why I didn't choose you, which is most important. It's because you weren't communicating or reciprocating the same type of energy I was giving to you. And so he just decided, you know what? That's fine. I can't make nobody like me the way I like them. So I'm going to bounce, and I'm going to mess with somebody who likes me in the way I like them. And it's obvious that Liz, no matter what I think about it, she at least liked the guy. And so it was one of those situations where you could see it as he was talking to her. The ego wasn't allowing the words to sink through to her. Even she mentioned that, it started to turn into anger. You got angry because you was hurt. And that's a you problem. Now, understand, there was probably things that happened off camera. There was probably things that was texted. Okay, we get it. It is a TV show. I understand. But the bottom line is this, though. He chose somebody else. And why did he choose someone else? I think it's because he kept on running into your ego. And even your sister mentioned that when you brought AJ to meet your mother, where it was one of those situations where she said, okay, I don't know if each one of you representatives have basically exited the building and you meeting the real you. I think it's genuinely because she realized, okay, you putting on for him. You ain't letting him see the real you. You got a shield up. That shield is called your ego. Now, I don't know if he was letting his down. I think he was. But the bottom line is, hell, that's my synopsis of the whole Kira situation. She was going to choose herself no matter what. Just point blank, period. It didn't matter if it was AJ. You could eject AJ, insert Jason, eject Jason, insert Joel. Hell, eject him, insert Troy. It didn't matter what the guy was. She was going to choose herself. Because at this point in her life, and it's okay, it's fair, it's not a negative thing. It just seems like she's into herself more than anybody else. And that's fair. All right? That's cool. So look, that's basically the wrap up of episode 12. So before I get up out of here, let's talk about some of the other episodes and some of the other people that I'm interested in hearing from and hearing their experience on this show. The first of anybody is going to be my boy Troy. Troy was TV gold. Matter of fact, Troy was so damn funny. When I started watching this, maybe this was Wednesday evening, maybe yesterday. It was Thursday. It was Thursday when I started watching it. But boy, Troy is so damn funny. It is hilarious, man. The best thing about Troy, he was probably my favorite of anybody on this show. The best thing about Troy is Troy did not give a... I'm not even going to say he didn't give a damn. I don't think he was even aware of how he came off looking on the TV show. That is a true creep right there. And I can salute a creep, okay? Creep squad member, all right? I know that. I have a card, all right? I got it. I earned mine. So I know what a creep looks like. I am a nice guy. I'm not saying I'm still a creep. I've done creep shit before. That dude's a creep. I mean, just straight not giving a damn. When they went on that painting, I think it was like a sipping paint to, I think it was a brushing paint, whatever you call it. I mean, basically it's painting with a twist or however you want to break it down. When this fool was literally sitting between these two women and was kissing on one and turned around to the other, I forgot what he said. I was like, man, somebody need to make him a TV Goes t-shirt and send it to him. That shit was hilarious. Matter of fact, I think Troy and what's her name, Chrysanthemum, they need to make a love child together. And this child is just going to be out. Name the child a world-class wrecking crew. Because if them two can make a kid together, this kid is going to terrorize any individual they date. That was funny. Troy I liked. Who else on the show I think I liked from this season? We really didn't meet the Khalil guy. Matter of fact, the Khalil and Christian. You could kind of tell off the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second show. Pretty much through you can kind of figure it out through the meeting of the singles. Those were going to be your two early eliminations. I don't know what it was about it. It just felt that way. I think the Christian dude, I think who he really is and who he kind of presented when he first went to the mixer was kind of two different people. I think he's probably more cooler guy, relaxed dude than what he is. He just seemed like he was uptight in that scenario, which, once again, as I said before on many reviews, it has to be weird being forced into, it's like speed dating, but it's cameras around. So I know it has to be kind of an odd thing to kind of get your bearings with. Who else was on the show that stood out to me? I talked about Christian. I talked about Joel. Matter of fact, Chrysanthemum and Stacy. Here's the deal. Like I said, nothing is personal. You can type in and say whatever you want to say about me. I really don't care. I enjoy it. That's one of the best things about doing this is reading the comments and interacting with any viewers or any of these cast members who may watch it, because as I found out during the review for the second season, they actually watched this and they will contact you. I did not realize that. I really didn't think that they were going to pay attention to it that much, but they will. You will be surprised. You know what I'm saying? But Chrysanthemum and Stacy. So is Stacy. This is what I would say. If you have any desire to find you a man in a successful relationship, what I think you need to do is to drop Chrysanthemum like a bad habit. I think you need to stop any association with this woman. Not saying that she's a bad person, but I'm just saying, like, Chrysanthemum seems like the evil angel. you know the old school deal where you have the angel and the devil on your shoulders. She is the devil side of Stacy. Like, when you see Stacy presents well, but Stacy falls in 1-2 categories. Either, once again, she's really is a good woman who looks like she's a hot girl, or she's a former hot girl that just end up getting married early and having some kids. Just, once again, she had to put that thought aside for a long time. So either she's a former thought that I'm not gonna say that. She's a former hot girl that just got married early and had children, and she had to put that side away. Or she's really a good, genuine person who just kind of wants to be chrysanthemum sometimes. But the bottom line is this, in my opinion, if you want to find you someone, you need to push your new friend to the side. Chrysanthemum, she is going to be, she is, the fine 52-year-old, sitting at, the spot, or at 5015, or at pick one of the popping spots in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, she is a fine 52-year-old trapped in a 39-year-old shell. Here's the deal. She's going to be at somebody's bar, either at Desiree's, Taylor's, somewhere at 50. And she is still going to be, hey, I'm half Italian. I don't love no nigga. And I'm still out here pimping. That's just what she's going to do. I don't know what the future holds for. Like I said, it's one of the reasons I gave KG Smooth credit for how he came back on the show. Well, quickly, I think he realized I'm here on a mission. I'm going to find somebody. They ain't going to make me look like a fool. I ain't going to waste my time with Negroes that I know don't rock with me. Even the little scene between him and Chrysanthemum, when they went out, he just looked at us like, look here, I get it. You don't really like me. I think you about 70-30 on me. And I think it was really 70-30 the other way around. I think it was 30%. I think you cool with 70%. Get the hell up out my face. Because you're not saying what I need to hear to feel good. Cool person. There's nothing personal against her. But like I said, man, you can catch her at Max's. Maxwell's. You can catch her somewhere in Houston. I know you can. Who else was on the show? That I'm forgetting that made a kind of a big impact on Alexis. That's who I'm looking for. And I got my little notes here. Alexis. I'm interested, and we kind of saw a little small preview. Alexis is about to come back to these reunions. She gonna set ablaze to that whole motherfucking set. Excuse my language, YouTube. It's gonna be on when she get back up on this on this reunion set. I just know she gonna have shit for AJ. She gonna have some shit for Kyra. Who else was she dealing with that kind of pissed her off? I don't know. I can just tell this woman, praise Jesus, Shonda, she's gonna come through with a cell phone. You talking about receipts? As y'all women say receipts? Man, she gonna be on somebody's ass. I know it. I could just feel it. I'm just curious to see what kind of shenanigans and foolishness she's going to pull off. But you can just tell that her spirit, much like Kira, because she's another one with a presence about her, ego, that, trust me, she coming down, it's going down when she get through there. The last person I want to mention is Tressa. I think Tressa got a raw deal. I think Tressa may be one of those people. Well, I don't know if I don't know if they're going to have another season here in Houston. And I don't know if he's ever going to bring anybody back. But if there's going to be a contestant or somebody that should be brought back, I think it's Tressa. I think that it's unfortunate that she really got a raw deal on this show based on the fact of, I guess, her physical appearance. I think she's a very attractive woman. If you look at her in the face, I think she's pretty. I think she has a great personality. I mean, she extra thick, which is nothing wrong with that. It just it made me feel some type of way how she got, voted off. It just felt like, they were keeping her on, but nobody was really kind of rocking with her. And I don't know, that rubbed me the wrong way. But then I had to think about it. And I had to say, hold on. I go back to me, how I am with women. Fairness is important and accountability is important. So let's look at this from this standpoint, or from another perspective. There are women out there who are very transparent in the fact that they don't they don't date certain men based off of physical criteria. There are women that will tell you, if a man ain't over 6'2", I ain't talking to him. We don't ever get upset when those women say that. When women say, I can't talk to a man under 6 foot, or you too short, We don't get upset. We don't chastise them. So is it wrong that, Tressa got eliminated for the simple fact that majority of the guys on there say that they don't really talk to, I don't even want to use the word large, because she's not big. She's just extra thick. Or she just has a stomach. Let's just say that. Maybe that's it. Is it right that we can criticize them, or you feel some type of way how she was eliminated and the reason why? Because it's just she physically didn't fit what those men on the show this season was attracted to. And so I had to think about that and say to myself, all right, hold on. Maybe you got to take a step back. Don't sit there and be like, all right, that's messed up. That's shallow. That's inconsistent. That just shows that us as men is just, sometimes we assholes. At the end of the day, if you're not attracted to a person, you're not attracted to a person. And for whatever reason, why they're not attractive to you, that shouldn't be something you should be, held hostage by, or you should be beaten over the head for. The fact is that most of the men there were not attracted to her. So I don't know. I just feel bad that that's the reason why, that's the sole reason why she was eliminated from the show. I hate that cold word where it's like, okay, she a homegirl, or look at her like a big sister. I guess that's the only thing that really rubbed me the wrong way. Was look, as grown men, just be upfront and be honest about what we feel. Like, that goes back to the ego. You ain't gotta protect a woman's ego. You ain't gotta attack her ego. But you ain't gotta protect it. You can be transparent and just say, look here, physically, you're just not, the flavor of what these guys are looking for. And she knew it. And it's like, when you use those, to me, that's disingenuous. Don't use the cold words that they felt you was like a big sister. Or, no, you don't. That's a lie. Just tell the truth. Be upfront. Just be upfront. All right? That was kind of the biggest thing that stood out with me, was that for that season was that person. So yeah, that's the only thing that really kind of bothered me and really stood out about the rest of the episodes. I mean, as far as for the season, I thought it was decent. Everyone seemed genuine. I enjoyed it more than season 3. I think it represented Houston a little bit better. I don't know what it was about season 3 that I really didn't like, or maybe I just wasn't even in the mood to watch the show. And that's probably a different conversation, a different video for another day. For some of the people that are still continuing subscribers of this channel, I explained why I hadn't made any videos. It wasn't nothing big, wasn't nothing going on. It was just the fact that, to be honest with you, I was tired of all the YouTube conversation between men and women. It was just too much. It seemed like it was too many damn channels, too many damn people talking about it. But anyway, here's the deal. I will be back with 2 more reviews for Ready to Love. I'm going to be back for Ready to Love. I'm pointing at the TV. Don't ask me why I did that. But the point is this. I will be back for a review of the 2 reunion shows. Also, I am going to sit down and watch the first episode of Put a Ring on It Season 2. And I'm going to do a review of that. I'm going to change around the format of this channel. All right, I'm going to start kind of doing a little podcast deal. I got a little podcast room. I'm going to build out a little bit more. Only thing I got right here is my little painting. I did that myself. But I'm going to build this out, make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. But I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to start bringing people on here. We're going to sit down. We're just going to chop it up and just talk about some things. Talk about things that's on my mind. And if you got any ideas, anything that's on your mind, let me know. Like and subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing. It takes 15 seconds. Click the subscribe button. Click the like button. I will be talking to you later. Hope you have a great weekend. Make sure you leave comments so I can hear what you're saying and so we can talk about this. I'm out. Have a great weekend. Gone. Peace.